Guys, I bought an Xbox One Elite Series 1 wireless controller, complete in box, for only $36. $36. That's incredible! Hey guys, what's up, what's happening? The King of Games 98 here, and I'm back at it again with a new video game controller unboxing video and first thoughts, first impressions. So, how I'm going to start off this video is first I'm going to tell you guys how I came to acquire and buy this controller for only $36. And then I'm going to unbox it, even though the controller itself is used and has already been opened, but I'm still going to do an unboxing of it anyway, because I want to. And I'm going to give my first thoughts, first impressions on this controller. Okay, so by the time this video goes up, it will be the weekend, obviously. So I went to my favorite local small business video game store, Next Level Video Games. Shout out to Nick, he's the owner. This past Wednesday. And I went for two reasons. The first was because I had a couple disc-based video games that wouldn't play, and I wanted Nick to resurface the discs. So that was the first reason. And the second reason was I decided to bring him a bunch of random stuff that I had a hard time selling, and just I wanted to see if he would take any of it in for trade credit, or trade credit, store credit, yeah. And so, what was the stuff I brought him to trade in, you ask? Well, I had some mangas, I had some animes on DVD, I brought him some Funko Pops, and I did bring some video games in, and like video game controllers. You know, the games, it wasn't like anything like super rare or anything. You know, the games I brought were a couple PSP games, one loose disc, one was complete in box, and then the third was actually brand new, still factory sealed. But again, it wasn't anything, you know, really good, high dollar, valuable games. I bought him some DS games, some Game Boy Advance games, some Mad Catz sports themed PlayStation 2 controllers, and a couple 360 games, a PS2 game. I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it as far as the video games go. The mangas, I had 3 volumes of Negima. I had the very first volume of this manga, AI Love You, or AI I Love You, something like that. And then I had a Bleach manga. And then I had 2 volumes of this manga called Rebirth. And of all the mangas, the only ones Nick took were the 3 Negima. And something tells me they were probably the best there, and or probably were the most valuable. You know what? So be it. I tried selling this stuff before, and I just had too hard of a time, so I was just like, you know what? Screw it. So he took Nick took the 3 Negima mangas. He took the complete in box and factory brand new sealed PSP games. He took all of the animes on DVD that I brought in, although I did bring some in on VHS even. He did not take those. I wasn't sure if he would or not, because I did bring him, I think maybe a year or 2 ago, might even be more than 2 years ago, I brought him in a whole box filled of various animes on VHS tape, and he took all of them in. And I don't know, there might have been some on DVD, but the majority were on VHS tape, so I was pretty amazed by that. He took all of them, so you know, I wasn't sure if he would take these. He did not. That's fine. You know, I was still at least glad he took the ones on DVD. and the ones on DVD, it was Volume 1 of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, which I don't need because I have the whole first and second seasons on Blu-ray. And the other three DVDs were the first three volumes of the cult classic anime series Escaflowne by Bandai Entertainment. And the reason why I was getting rid of them is because I recently, not too long ago, I bought the whole series of Escaflowne on DVD in one big like box set. So I was like, well, I no longer need these now. So he took them, and he took, how many Funko Pops did I bring him? I brought him 8 total Funko Pops, and he only took 4. Now, I'm not going to get into a whole, side spiel about Funko Pops, but this is all I'm going to say. I used to buy them and collect them. I no longer do. I kind of think they're stupid and a waste of money now, and I just don't see them being worth the $8 to $12 price tag that you would pay for in a retail store. So I basically stopped buying them, and so the 8 that I brought him in were ones I was trying to sell, like I stated in the beginning, and he only took 4 of them, and the 4 he took were obviously the best ones, and I was fine with that because, like I said, I was having a hard time trying to sell them. So myself. So it was like, you know what, if you'll take those 4 and I take the other 4 back, that's fine, whatever. So that was what he ended up taking, and he gave me $40 in store credit for all that stuff that I just mentioned that he took. And then everything that I didn't mention that he took, he was like, yeah, I don't want any of this stuff. So I took that stuff back, which was okay. I was completely okay with that. I didn't expect him to take all of the stuff that I brought in the trade, so I was just at least happy with that. So that was what he gives me in trade credit. And then for that stuff. And then as for the couple of game discs that I needed resurfaced, well, the one game was 007 Nightfire on PlayStation 2. Now, I do already own Nightfire, but on GameCube. I did not already own it for PlayStation 2. So I was like, you know what? I know it's the same game, but on a different console, but I still want it. Big James Bond fan too, by the way. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before in any of my videos. I'm sure I must have, but so it was funny. What I did was I've acquired 2 different copies of 007 Nightfire on PlayStation 2, neither of which played. So I brought him both and was like, Nick, I can't. Neither one of these copies of Nightfire play. I just want you to clean both, so hopefully I can at least get one working playing copy out of the 2. I don't care, if you charge me for both, that's fine. I just want a working freaking copy of 007 Nightfire on PS2. So that was the one game, and then the other game was Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance? No. Was it Substance or Sons of Liberty? Because those were both the titles of Metal Gear Solid 2. You know what? I'm not sure which title they went with, because the copy of Metal Gear Solid 2 is from that Metal Gear Solid Essential Collections box set, and so Metal Gear Solids 2 and 3 are not labeled. So I don't know if MGS2 is Substance, Substance, or Sons of Liberty. I forgot one. There was no, was that 3? No, excuse me. I screwed the titles up for 2 and 3 up. So I don't know if MGS2 was Sons of Liberty or Substance. I don't know, because the disc never booted and played. But I wanted that resurfaced because the copies of Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 3 played perfectly, which I got that in my Fall Carlisle video game pickups video, as you guys saw. So that was the one game of the 3 games from that box set that didn't play. And since that was the only one that didn't play, I was like, I got to get this resurfaced because it needs to play to complete the box set. So I brought him that too. And what he ended up doing was he only resurfaced one of the two 007 Nightfire game discs, and he showed it to me, and then he asked me, do you still want me to resurface the other one? And when he showed me the one that he already resurfaced, I was like blown away by it because it looked brand new. Like seriously, the underside of that disc looked mint. And you know, I appreciated him doing that and still asking me, because I ended up deciding against what I originally said, and so I did not have him clean both 007 Nightfire game discs, and so instead he just did the one, and I was very happy with that. And then he did Metal Gear Solid 2, and I looked at that, and that looked brand new too, so I was very happy with that too. And so now that leads me to this. So Nick had this behind his counter on a shelf on the back of his wall. And he had a price tag on it, and it said $79.99, so essentially $80. And I made like 2, maybe 3 sweeps through his whole store, looking at games, seeing if there was anything I was looking for or any game he had that I had to have. And you know what? I just wasn't seeing any games or consoles, for that matter, that I had to have or I'd been looking for, and he had. You know, I did eye up 2 games though. I will mention that I was eyeing up 2 games that were, I thought, pretty cheap, that I was contemplating about buying before I bought this, and I'll mention the games. The games were Split Second on Xbox 360. I've been told by numerous people and online that it's a very good racing game. It was the 360 version, and he had only $10 on it. It was complete. I thought about it, but I ended up not getting it. And the second game I was looking at was Gears of War 4 on Xbox One. I believe that was also complete in box, and he had $10 on that too. So those were the 2 games I was contemplating and eyeing up, but then I saw the controller, and I was like, hey Nick, can you get that for me? I want to look at the controller. And so he's like, sure. And so he gets it down off the shelf, and he puts it on the counter and lets me look at it. And I open the box, and it's got the travel case for the controller in it, and it looks like new. And I was like, wow. So then I take the travel case out of the box, and I unzip it and look at the controller inside. The controller looks like new. So I'm like standing there like, holy shit, this looks like new. And I was like, if this was used, it was barely used. So then I'm looking at the side of the box here at all the contents that it was supposed to come with. And I'm like looking at that, and I'm, referencing the side of the box and looking at what's inside of it to make sure it's all there. All the extra buttons, joysticks, D-pads, paddles, USB cable, carrying case, everything was in here, except for the AA batteries. But that's okay. It's just freaking AA batteries. Everything else, though, was in here that was supposed to be included with this controller when bought new. So I gave the controller a quick once-over, looked at it. I pressed all the buttons, made sure they were responsive and didn't stick or get stuck in a position. They did not. And I ended up making the decision that I wanted to buy this, and I said to him, put my store credit towards that. I'll pay the rest out of pocket. So I did that. And then you're probably thinking to yourself right now, okay, so he had 40 in store credit, put that towards it. The controller was 80. You probably paid 40 out of pocket. Wrong. I did not. So this is where it gets good. So Nick sells next level discount cards. And you basically pay once and you get a discount card. And if I recall correctly, how it works is you get 10% off any used video games and accessories. And I think there's a few other promotions that I'm not remembering. I think you get occasionally inside exclusive deals and discounts during like the holidays when he runs certain sales. So I almost forgot that I had that card membership. So, as I'm like as he's ringing me up for this, I mentioned that to him, and I'm about to get the card out, and then he goes, "Oh no, 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 don't worry, I already took off the discount for you because I remembered you have the card." So I was like, "Oh wow, great, thanks." So why I didn't pay 40 for this and instead pay $36 for this was due to me having the membership card, and it took that 10% off. I'm pretty sure it was either 10 or 15% off. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But anyway, that was it came to $36 after taking that 10 or 15% off of the $40. So at $36, I was more than happy and okay to pay that out of pocket because these are like seriously 80 to $100+ controllers. So okay, so enough of me rambling. That is the story of how I came to buy this for only $36. Now, without further ado, I'm going to get to the actual unboxing of this controller, and then I'm going to give my first thoughts, first impressions of this bad boy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up close to the camera there with this so you can get real close shots of the box, the controller, all that good stuff. Okay, so obviously this is the front of the box, Xbox Elite wireless controller. Then we have the left side, which shows all the contents, Elite wireless controller, interchangeable D-pads, interchangeable thumbsticks, paddles, carrying case, AA batteries, USB cable. For Xbox One, Windows 7, 8, 10 PCs. All right. And that's the back that shows all the different customizations you can do with an Elite wireless controller, which I think is pretty cool. And then we have the right side, which just shows off the controller. This is the bottom. I can't believe this controller is from 2015 and it looks this damn good. That's the top. Okay. All right, so upon opening it, boom, there's the controller's carrying case. Oh, I didn't realize that. Huh. I just realized that the zipper kind of broke. Oh well. It still zips and unzips. It does what it's supposed to. Okay, well, I kind of just dropped it, but it's all good. It's all good. I did kind of forget it is kind of a heavy wireless controller, so gravity kind of just dropped it for me, but that's okay. It's all good. Still seems fine. So yeah, that's exactly what it looked like when I unzipped it from its travel case. And now we're going to do close-ups of the controller. So first thing I want to mention, I know to some people they might say this controller is very plain looking. It's just black with some chrome or silver coloring on it. I freaking love it like that. I think it looks very good like that. I know it's very basic, colors, but I really like it like that, and I think it stands out like that. Also, I want to mention the A, B, X, and Y buttons are blacked out instead of with colors on them. I think that looks pretty cool too, with this aesthetic of this controller. So you got left stick, right stick, D-pad. Was that share options? That's, I think, with one of the trigger sensitivity or something. A, B, X, Y, home button, shoulder buttons, rear shoulder buttons. I'm gonna try to get a close-up of this grip texture, because that was one of the first things I noticed when I held and gripped this controller in my hand. The grip texture feels so freaking nice and comfortable. I love it. And then this is where you stick the paddles and I guess the sensitivity, and obviously that's where you put the batteries. Yeah, so, you know, I know to some people they would say this controller is very plain and basic, and you know what? I agree with you. It is. But I still love how it looks. Now, I don't know, can I take them out? No, I guess I can't. All right, so I'll just... So, this is the inside of the travel case. We got 2 extra sets of thumbsticks that are customizable. This odd-looking shaped D-pad, which I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the one on it or if I'm going to take that out and try this one. We shall see. And then 2 different sets of these paddle type things that I'm not really sure what exactly they do. Do they replace the shoulder buttons? I don't know. Someone in the comments section, please tell me that, because I don't really know what they do, and I don't really know what they're used for. So yeah, if you're watching and you know, please let me know down below in the comments. I'm a little ashamed and embarrassed to admit that, but you guys have to understand where I'm coming from. I just recently finally bought myself an Xbox One console. And, you know, to go with that, this is my very first ever Xbox One Elite wireless controller. I've never owned one before, so, you know, you'll have to forgive my ignorance there for not knowing what the hell those back paddle things are for. And then, upon lifting this guy out, we have this is the USB cable. And then upon lifting that up, we have, I believe, the instruction manual and maybe some warranty information. Yep. Quick setup guide. And yeah, warranty. Yeah, so like seriously guys, this controller was like new. And I don't think if it was used at all, it was used very little. So this is the USB cable that is included with it. I'm gonna get that out. Oh, dude, that's cool looking. What? Oh man, that's cool looking on the USB cable. Yes, I'm seriously freaking out right now over a micro USB cable, but this is really cool. So the whole cable itself is black, and then it has little green lines going all around it. That is just really cool because, you know, Xbox is synonymous with the color green. So I love that. I think that's really cool. And I know that's just a very, very small, minor little detail on that. But I really like that. That's very cool. I guess they included the micro USB cable for, let's see, what would they use that for? I guess if you have the rechargeable battery packs and you have a rechargeable battery pack plugged into, or I shouldn't say plugged into, connected to the controller, I guess you could charge the battery pack with the USB cord as you're playing it. And then I suppose you could also use the USB cord with the controller connected to it on a computer, because it did say it was compatible with Windows 7, 8, and 10 PCs. So I guess there's that too. So yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it as far as the unboxing goes. Now, as of the recording of this video, I haven't actually tested this controller yet to make sure that it works. But as you see of how good used condition it's in, I'm sure it works. You know, especially since I got it from Nick at Next Level. I know Nick does not take in broken crap, and if he does, he's probably aware that it's broken and doesn't work. And you know, especially at him having priced it at $80, I would think that it works. But yeah, in the next couple of days, I am gonna sit down and pop batteries in it, make sure that it works, connect it to my console, all that fun stuff. But yeah, as of right now, I'm very happy with this controller. I'm very glad and happy that I bought it, and most importantly, I'm very glad that I was able to trade stuff into him that I didn't want, and it helped me get this controller at that price. Now, I know I already did this on Twitter, this post, but I'm going to say it again because I really like the guy, and you know what? He knows what he's doing, and he's very right in saying this. So, shout out to Steve Wrightway or Mr. Wrightway, whichever you prefer. But in all of his videos, Steve says, trades are key, because even though if you buy stuff that you don't necessarily want, someone else, a fellow collector, a friend, someone might be looking for that game or controller or accessory or console for that matter, and you could trade them that item to your friend and in exchange get maybe cash or other games that you were looking for. And most importantly, even if you don't trade with a fellow collector or a friend, you could bring it in to a retro video game store. You could bring it in to GameStop if they take it. And I know Steve in a lot of his videos. He, I believe, lives in Texas, and he has a lot of pawn shops around him. And along with that, he has, I think it was called Movie Trading Co., which is essentially just a big movie buy, sell, and trade place. And they take movies on DVD, Blu-ray, all that stuff, and that's cool. And I've seen in a lot of his videos, he gets movies and or Blu-rays that are hard to find or expensive, and he brings them into them, and he gets pretty good money for them. And, they also take in video games, and they sell video games, and he's bought really good games from them with trade credit that he got in for bringing in movies to them. So, you know what? He is absolutely right when he says trades are key. And so I'm going to leave you guys on that note. And, I'm going to also say that for this time around, me getting this Xbox One Series 1 Elite wireless controller complete in box for only $36, that I did it the right way. I completely just stole that from him, but you know what? It's still funny because if Steve, if you're watching, you're gonna get the reference. You're gonna get it, and to anyone who watches his channel, you'll get it too. But no, in all seriousness though, I am really glad I got this controller. I'm glad that I especially only got it for $36, and I cannot wait to test this bad boy out. I cannot wait to start using it. I think it's a really nice looking Xbox One wireless controller, and I kind of am looking forward to actually messing around with changing out the D-pads, the thumbsticks. I don't know if I'm going to mess with them back paddles, but yeah, I dig that you can customize this, and yeah. So my final thoughts, impressions of this controller are really good. I really like it. Like I mentioned earlier, I like that the whole controller is mainly black with some silver, or would you call that chrome? Well, it's the same color basically. So I like that the whole controller is basically black with, areas of chrome on it, with chrome accents, like the D-pad's chrome, that's chrome, that whole area is chrome, the back triggers are chrome. And then I like how the grips, the back of the grips is gray. I think that makes it stand out pretty good too. And yeah, so overall, my thoughts and first impressions of this controller are really good, and I love it. Like I said, I cannot wait to test it out and start using it and messing around with the customizable thumbsticks and the D-pad. And yeah, I'm very happy with this controller, especially at the price that I got it at. And, it's great that I got it and didn't have to pay full retail price for it because, I know the Series 2 Xbox One Elite controllers, they sell for $180 or $190 new in the store. And there ain't no way I was going to pay that much for one freaking wireless controller, ladies and gentlemen. No. I was not doing that. That's nuts. That's insane. That's like a whole console price right there. So, yeah. Alright, guys, so that's pretty much going to do it for this little unboxing, first impressions review video. Overall, I'm very glad and happy I got this controller, especially at the price that I did get it at. I think it's really cool with the customizable thumbsticks, D-pad, and the paddles, and I look forward to testing it out and using it on my Xbox One. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know down below in the comments section. Do you have an Xbox One Elite wireless controller, whether it's the Series 1 or Series 2? And if so, let me know in the comments section, are you happy with it? And how you feel about it. So yeah, thanks for watching and take care.